So I was just thinking as I looked at my, there we go. As I looked at my screen today, is I seriously do wear the same thing every day. I really do. Do you have, do you have like chapters of your life when you're into something? I know, and I will say this before Barbie, and it may have even been during COVID, I went through like a bright pink phase where it was like, oh, I love that color. And then I didn't even realize it was a thing. I didn't realize I was collecting a lot of stuff in the same vibe until one day I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I went obviously through my bright pink phase. And again, good morning, Danielle and Spreading Sunshine and Mariposa and Judy. A lot of familiar names. Oh, Pinky Silver, nice to see you. Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary. I love it. I was just saying that I am totally in, and I own it. I am totally in my black t-shirt and hoodie phase. I just don't see any clothing out there that encourages me to buy it. So for now, I'm warm, I'm comfortable, I'm covering my naked body. So yeah, but it's funny. I just realized for the people who are watching the TikTok lives, you guys see me. You already know I'm live right now. But when these are recorded and up on YouTube, this is when you don't realize how much of something you have until you see it all together. So good morning, everybody. 7 a.m. Still dark out here in Eastern Pennsylvania. Maybe it's dark out where you are. And heck, you know what I just realized? I'm in the Eastern, time zone. If you're in Central, Mountain, and Pacific, and I'm totally looking at a thing that reminds me of what those are, it may be even darker out where you are. Good morning, Erin. Nice to see you. Ocean Nana, nice to see you. You are up early. Now I see Boston Sports Girl. If you're up in Boston, you are also up wicked early. Wicked. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just did something really goofy. Oh, well. That's what I get. That's what I get for distracting myself. Anywho, good morning, everybody. Hey, let's start the day off right, huh? And luckily, as my sister Pam once said, when she spilled water, it'll evaporate. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, helping you declutter your life. Here's something to think about. Oof, Wendy, I love it. Good morning. Somebody just sent me a cup of Joe. Set 4:02 a.m. Been up 2 hours already. Wendy, I hear you. I have been waking up earlier myself now. Thank you, human female body, aging at a certain age. I try not to beat myself up about it. I'm not saying you do. What I'm choosing to believe is like, okay, if my body wants sleep, it's going to get sleep. So, yeah, 4 a.m. Okay, Boston Sports Girl and Wendy. 4 a.m.ers. I was up at around 5 this morning. But I love this. What I love, and maybe you do too, I love not having to get out of bed at a certain time. From age, whatever you call it, nursery school until graduating college, and then many, 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 many jobs, the requirement to get up and get up wicked early too. So I delight in waking up before the alarm or not even having an alarm. Except for, of course, my human alarm, which is my bladder, and I have to get up anyway. But I really think one of the hallmarks of a rich life is not having to get out of bed until you want to. So I'm glad the early birds are joining me. I am an early bird. When my husband is home, he's the night owl, so he's usually asleep in the other room. But we're here up early, and what are we going to do today? You got a plan? I got a plan. Has my plan already had some left turns today? Yes. That's what happens. Learning to make a plan and be flexible. That is the thing. Is having some structure but not rigidity. But not also being so loosey-goosey that, you turn 70 and you're like, "Whoa, what happened?" Right? So, I am here to show up here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yes, Wendy says, I go to bed early. I kind of do too, especially when the hubs is not home. I enjoy getting 8 hours when my body lets me. Me too. Oh, Shanana, I've been awake since 2 a.m. Oh, I know that feeling. Notice that sometimes we can wake up after not having a lot of sleep and feel okay, and other times we don't. So please, everybody, this is one of the very first kind of steps in decluttering. And those of you who are just meeting me are going to be like, what is she talking about? I seriously know that everything is based on how you are feeling. And when I say feeling, I don't just mean emotionally. I mean energetically, physically. When you are not feeling well, you will not do as well as when you do when you feel good. Kind of makes sense to me. So please, 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 as Beth Destination Decluttered and James Brown would say, please, 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 take care of yourself. Yourself. If you know you didn't get a lot of sleep, you slept poorly last night, take that into consideration when you are making your plan for the day. Notice how quickly or, the pace that you're moving through the day. Okay? Notice the pace that you're moving, and remember, don't beat yourself up about it, but say, you know what? Perhaps I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Now, this is going to happen to your human body. Every day is different. So this is one of those kind of really interesting formulas. I like to think of things as formulas and rows, and this is just how my brain works, is saying, taking into account how I feel, kind of my energy and the amount of time I have during the day equals, and then factoring those things in when you are making your plan. On the flip side, kind of like Davy Jones and Marsha Brady, right? What about the flip side? On the flip side, if you make a plan and you see that you're kind of chock-a-block full, as mine sometimes are because I do these TikTok lives pretty much daily. I do coaching and consultations. I have my own kind of extra life outside of this narrow window right here. If you know that you've got a day that's chock-a-block full, what can you do to increase the likelihood that you will have the energy to go for it? Okay? So just notice this. Yes, in Midlife Woman 2.0, decluttering is fantastic for helping you clear your brain. Decluttering your brain. That's why I'm a decluttering life coach. Life Dottie. I always feel like Pee Wee Herman, where I'm like, I'm a loner Dottie, I'm a rebel. So yes, we are decluttering our homes. We are decluttering our heads. We are decluttering our lives. And you can decide which one of those categories you want to work on today. Now, the neat thing is, again, I freaking love kind of like an all-purpose tool that works well with one thing. I don't like those one-trick ponies. So I love the fact that the way I declutter my home is the same way I declutter my head, is the same way then I declutter my life. And I show up to teach you this because I shouldn't be the only one who knows how to do this. No. It doesn't improve my life to be greedy and keep it to myself. Ooh, I'm going to gatekeep it. Oh, you can't find it out. No, it's just for me. F that. Now, of course, I teach people when I do my one-on-one coaching for my paid clients, we get really into it just for you. It's like bespoke for you. But right now on TikTok, here I am for anybody who has met me before, who finds it helpful to tune in when I'm doing a TikTok live. Maybe do some decluttering, maybe not get out of bed, maybe you just want to have somebody to hang out with as you slowly wake up, clutching your mug, right? And start the day with some good thoughts, because good thoughts make you feel good, and when you feel good, you do good, right? That's how I roll. But trust me, I did not roll like this for decades. For decades, I was miserable, I was crabby, I was meh. I mean, I still have my moments, but I'm so much better than I used to be. Okay. Hey, this is really neat. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this one. Look at that one. Wendy is saying, when I got my spare room started decluttering, the relief was enormous. Enormous relief. Everybody, how does relief feel in your body? As soon as I saw the word relief, my body was like, oh my God, I can breathe. And it's not even my spare room that's getting decluttered. Relief, my shoulders go down. I breathe down. My eyes, I'm just kind of like, that feels so good. What a relief. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Yes, I am a Gen Xer, okay? So notice these things that you feel. And I'll be honest with you, people might be like, what's a decluttering life coach? And I will offer you, because it's not just, I am not. If you are looking for somebody who's going to show you how to make it look all pretty on the outside, but be all kind of, but you're not dealing with the underside, what's on underneath, I am not your person. I am not subsidized by the Container Store or any TikTok shop. No. I am here to help you realize the connection between how you look at your home and how your home looks and how you feel. Because that right here, notice how many times when I am coaching, I swear to God, if it was like if we were doing shots, everybody took a shot every time I put a hand to my heart, and I wasn't paying allegiance to the flag, you would be drunk by like 7:35. Because this, my dears, this is what we're working on. Now, don't let this scare you off. You're going to have a house. When you follow what I do, your house is going to look and feel and function better. Whether you decide to go any deeper than that, it's totally up to you. Everything I offer, just so you know, to empower you, everything I offer is completely up to you. You can do what you want. What I say, you can pull out the good stuff that relates to you. Please write it down. Please write it down, because I will tell you this right now. I see like little to, what do I want to say? Like, okay, here's the deal. Like ADHD people, this may relate to you, and regular folks too, this may. You get the idea of doing something, and you say either, ooh, that sounds interesting. I am interested in that. There is some energy as to why I would want to take the steps to do that. Notice when I say take the steps to do that, that's like destination decluttered, like on a road trip. Like, ooh, that sounds interesting. Might I want to go stay at that place in, Dry Tortugas? I totally just saw a guy this morning on TikTok when I was scrolling before I got out of bed. But sometimes you say to yourself an idea, and it's just kind of flat. It's like it's like a bottle of I'm thinking of like a green glass bottle of Canada Dry ginger ale at your grandmother's house, but the cap was on kind of loose, so it's kind of flat. Notice the energy that you feel in your body when you think a thought. And to me, I say, write down these things I'm saying that resonate with you, because I am not going to write a book. Because when I think of writing a book, my heart goes meh, or even ugh. Never mind, because you know what? I have written books before. Some of them are still here because I'm still selling them out of the trunk of my car. So I come and share with you. This is the modern world. This is how I'm sharing my info with you. Is here doing TikToks, doing TikTok lives, doing TikTok like recorded videos, uploading my TikTok lives to YouTube. So in case you hear something, but it's like, oh shit, what was she saying? I missed it. You can go review it. So please, I don't come here just to hear myself talk. If anything, I feel like George Costanza. I'm like, oh, my voice is so high and whiny. But I say this to you because if I say something that hits you like, ooh, that's a good one, write it down. I cannot help but think when I'm going through also with my clients, how many times I just say the simple thing of writing it down, getting it out of your head and onto paper, okay? Getting your thoughts. You have good thoughts. You have good thoughts from Jack Handey. Write them down. Do something with them, okay? So maybe the very first thing you do today is grab a notebook, grab something, and make it, please. I mean, I'm all about the Post-it notes, but those are literally for like a word or two. Okay? Vita, you don't know where to start? I can help you. There's really no place to start except the beginning. Today's the beginning of a new day. Where are you going to start today? Okay, Vita is saying, and let me help you with this because we all know, both folks have been around for a while and folks that are just meeting me, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach. I don't know where to start and I end up making a bigger mess. Yes, you do. Everybody does. So you're not alone. You start, first of all, with getting yourself in the right frame of mind and energy and heart to even start. If you're spinning and if your mind is revving like you're in your car, I'm always coming back to the car because we know what that's like. If your brain feels like you're sitting in the driveway and your car is in park, but you're revving the gas and you're going vroom, 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 but you're not going anywhere, let's stop that. Put your foot off the gas. You're not going to go anywhere because you're in park. And let's calm that stuff down. So calming down your nervous system, getting in touch with how you feel before you even start. And here's something that's going to help. Carla Jane, nice to see you. Glad you went to the doctor. Sorry about the ribs, but take care of yourself. Calming down your nervous system, making yourself feel better starts with taking care of your body, but also notice what you're saying to yourself. I don't know where to start. Yes, you do. I just told you, start wherever. Doesn't matter where you start. Okay? All right? Notice, Vita, you're revving. You're being like, oh my God, my car is not good, and I stay in the car before I go inside. Ba, 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 ba. Shh. Calming down everybody. We can all benefit from this. Calming down your nervous system. Treating yourself, feeling better before you do better, often starts with stopping. In the biz, they call it negative self-talk. It's negative self-talk. I like to call it the backseat driver. Yeah, but I can't do it. I don't even know where to start. It's a little kid. I don't know. And the next thing you know, remember that one I did where I pulled my sock off my foot and I did a sock puppet? Same thing. And my car's a mess. And Calgon, take me away. Shh. Shh. Quiet it down. Play with the opposite. I don't know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do. My car's a mess. That's okay. You can clean out your car the same way you clean out your house. I don't even know what to do. That's okay. I can teach you. Notice it feels better when you talk to yourself nicelier. That's an official word I just made up. I show up speaking to you like you might want to speak to yourself. Because notice how it feels when you quiet down the backseat driver, and then guess who shows up? Your co-pilot. You're the one in the driver's seat. You're always there. You've got the backseat driver's telling you to stop, and the co-pilot's waiting for you to quiet down that chatty little kid in the back seat so that it's like, okay, finally, they're quiet. Now, hey, it's up here in the front seat. Me, I'm your co-pilot, okay? I'm in the passenger seat just waiting for you to calm down that backseat driver so I can say, okay, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? I can help you, but I cannot help you unless we quiet down that little kid in the back seat. Okay? And that little kid in the back seat is just fear. Only fear. Fear is the only, But I can help you with this. So one of the things that Vita was saying, and this is what I do here on TikTok Lives, and I just see this, is coach you, kind of in front of 100 people. But I can only go so far because I only know so much. But the things you offered me were kind of that feeling of I don't know where to start. Start with calming down your nervous system. People who are writing my book, your version of my book, write that down. Calming down, right? And then notice what you said. I end up making a bigger mess. Yes, you do. Every process has its messy part. Every process has its messy part. I like to think of chocolate chip cookies, but pregnancy just came up, but I'm not well versed in that. Chocolate chip cookies. You have an idea. I want to have chocolate chip cookies. You don't necessarily want to make them. Maybe you just want to have them. Okay, well, here I am. Maybe the way I want to get them is to make them. I go buy the ingredients. They're all nice in their neat little bags, and the eggs are in their shells. But then, between ingredients and cookies is a mess. It happens. That's the creative process. The creative process is messy. But that's okay. It's just a temporary mess on the way to getting to the cookies. So when you are starting and you make a bigger mess, know that you're like, oh yeah, this is part of how I get to the other side. You've done nothing wrong. When you are decluttering and you've made a temporary mess, you've done nothing wrong. You are actually in the process. What you may not know is because of that, you may not realize that yes, this is part of the process, and this is when I need to do something else, not just freak out about the bigger mess and run away. This is when I say, okay, now I have to deal with this mess in a way that sets me up for success the next time I start to declutter. Right? Nothing is wrong here, people. Nothing is wrong. Now, Oceanana, I just saw your thing as I was scrolling back here. Oceanana, one of my clients, and we're doing these things this weekend. Last weekend we did it. It was wicked fun. This weekend, decluttering parties. I call it a party because we're party people. Why not have fun while you're decluttering? I'm all about it. Oceanana says, best decluttering Zoom parties are great. Helps us, help her charity, and helps her. Now, to be clear, I don't have a charity, but man, what I'm thrilled with is that all of us can help somebody. Even when we feel like we're struggling with something, we can help somebody else. I do these just really quickly. I don't want to turn this into like a infomercial. I do, for the people on my mailing list, I offer these Zoom decluttering parties. What we do is we all show up at the same day and time on Zoom. Hey, party people, this is where we're meeting. Okay, you have an idea. What are you bringing? What do you want to work on? What do you want to work on? What do you want to work on? We all do it. There's a modest ticket price, a fee, if you cover charge, if you will, and 50% of that charge is going to, they don't even know it's coming yet, a women's shelter just down the street from me. People who don't have clutter, who don't have anything. All of us who are up here who have too much, because that's what clutter is. Clutter is just too much. We can kind of balance it out a little bit by helping the people who don't have enough. Now, donating your stuff is good. Cash is always better. So you can donate your stuff locally. I will donate our cash locally. We have already raised a few $100s for the people at the women's shelter. So this is what I'm doing. In order to be even considered to be invited to my party, you need to get on the list. The list is the Destination Decluttered email mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. That is also where you find out if you want me to be your one-on-one decluttering coach. I totally do that. I coach people across the country. Again, I don't want to turn this into an infomercial, but it would be silly of me not to tell you how I can help you and you can help other people. Okay? So, here we go. Scrolling. Okay. I love this. Okay, I'm going to scroll back because I saw something really good. I see a lot of good things. You guys have really good ideas. Yes, quiet down the nervous system. Every process has its messy part. Yes, write that down. Don't just write it in the comments to me. Write it to you. Remind yourself mantras, You know what, Erin? And trust me, I grew up in the epicenter of making fun of other people. I'm amazed you must be an honorary New Englander, because that's pretty much how we show our love in a twisted way. Erin is saying, I just realized my family loves when I bake a homemade pie all from scratch, but they always make fun of the mess I make with the flour and the sugar. This is when I would lovingly flip the bird at them and say, if you want pie, you got to put up with a mess. There's that old, even the fancier one. A friend of mine said it the other day. She's going through some rough times. No mud, no lotus. Look it up. It's some fancy philosophy guy. All right? I say no mess, no cookies. All right? So here's the thing, too. I was scrolling. Lori Hannah, I am so glad you chimed in. Because, see? So Lori Hannah is one of my clients, and we were coaching yesterday. And this is what I do with my clients. I turn my ears up. I turn up and I listen really hard to what they're saying. And I look for clues as to how we can get you unstuck. And so Lori Hannah says, related to the temporary mess, your time management advice is my missing piece. Yeah, and isn't that neat? Because here's a wonderful thing. So Lori, we were talking about the various reasons why she's where she is. Totally cool. Very good to understand how you got to where you are. I got here by driving down Route 1. Oh, I got here by driving down 128. I took the blue route. Oh, I'm on the 10. Whatever. You got to here for some reason. Now, I'm a decluttering life coach, so while I do like to kind of look back, and not in anger, I like to look back out of curiosity, but we only look back through the rear view mirror. This is not therapy. We don't go, I was born a poor black child. I was never, my mother never loved me, whatever that stuff is. And I'm not mocking that. I just say that with a sense of love. We can be informed, but we don't need to mine what's in the back to understand where we're from. Yes, if there's stuff back there, yes, we're working on that. Please work on that. But there are ways that you can say, regardless of how I got here, I can do something different moving forward. And a lot, seriously, you guys, a lot of clutter is based in how you spend your time, managing your time or not managing it, okay? So just notice that. Thank you, Calm Carolyn, No Mud, Low Lotus. I bought that book. Now I need to read it. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Flour everywhere is the cause, but why do they care? They're in the habit of making fun of you. They are in the habit of making fun of you. Notice how they are in the habit of talking to you in a certain way. It's a habit. It's a groove. I know this for fact because I grew up in a snarky, zingy, haha, poking fun environment. Massachusetts, in the house, okay? Irish Catholic family, in the house. I did not realize that other people did not communicate like this until I met my husband, who was from slower, lower Delaware. And I'd be like, hey, you, zing, 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 zing. And he'd be like, what? What did I do? I'm like, no, you're supposed to like zing, zing, zing back to me. This is how we communicate. No, he didn't realize it. He thought. And so I learned that not everybody communicates the same way. And a lot of it is habit. So notice how your family talks to you. You may not be able to change that. You can though. Don't stop for trying. Hey, I do not appreciate that. If you want these cookies, shut the F up about my, flour on the floor. Make them notice how they're talking to themselves, but also make yourself notice how you talk to yourself. Okay? Yeah. Now, Calm Carolyn, here's a wicked interesting thing. Yeah, I am a total life coach, Sandy, and I'm thankful. Cool. Yes, that was totally from the jerk. I'm glad you got it. So Calm Carolyn, notice this. Notice I was talking about time management. I bought the book. I need to read it. So notice how many of us say, I need to or want to or have to or should do, fill in the blank, like a Mad Libs. But I don't have the time. Not a finger. But I don't have the time. Just notice when your brain says, oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the time. Oh my good Lord of mercy. I would be drunk every time I talk to clients and my own family. Every time they said the word time, if I was knocking back a shot, oof, I'd have to have liver replacement. Okay? Catch yourself when you say you don't have the time. And here's the deal. I am not saying, yes, you do, and you just don't, I trust that in your head it totally feels like you have no time. ADHD people in the house? Your head says I have no time, and you feel like, yeah, you're right. We don't have time. That's why we can't. Just see if it's true. Just see if it's true. If it is, cool, I'll totally. But sometimes you feel like you don't have the time. Rub your tummy, pat your head. But you do. And that's the bummer about not checking to see if you have the time and calming down your nervous system. Oh my God, I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Yes, you do. So how can you make it feel like you do have the time? It's calming down your nervous system. Okay? Okay? And here's a wonderful thing. And it's not to me show up. Now, there we go. That was an aha moment. I don't know what it was, Oceanana. I feel like I'm a jazz musician because I just show up. None of this is scripted. I have some things that I every day when I do a TikTok live, I refer back to kind of not my core beliefs. That sounds all pompous. The things that I feel to be true and I offer. And every time I repeat them, I check myself before I wreck myself. And I say, is this true? Because I don't want to share anything that I don't believe is valuable and true. But I'm riffing here. You ask me to repeat something, I'm like, I don't know what I just said. Because I am in the moment, okay? If I say an aha moment for you, please, for the love of God, write it down. Because I'm not going to remember it. I don't remember things unless I write them down, okay? This is my creative outlet, okay? So, and this is interesting. So Judy even says, I've realized through Beth that my decision making and time management causes these clutter issues. Yeah. And that is a really cool thing to realize, discover, notice. All verbs that mean pretty much the same thing. Yeah, because decision making is something you can get better at. Time management is something you can get better at. They are skills you can practice. You get better at those, your clutter changes. Okay? There we go. All right. Now, excuse me, burping up here. Yeah, there we go. Calm Carolyn says, it's on my shelf. Looking forward to it. I will put it in my schedule. Okay, Calm Carolyn, let me know how it goes. Next time I do a TikTok live, the next time, show up. And this is also what a bit of coaching is. Accountability. Declaring you're going to do something and sharing it with somebody else kind of sets up an invisible connection. I told somebody I'm going to do it. I tell 2 friends and so on and so on. I'm all about the Fabergé organic shampoo commercial. You guys know me. Okay? Okay. There we go. So notice that. Let me know how that book goes. Next time I do a TikTok live, which I pretty much do them every day except when I don't, let me know how it is. Even show up and say, guess what? I took the book off the shelf. Taking the book off the shelf is a big deal. I put it down where I tend to read my books. I opened it up. All of those are steps to get you to do something you say you want to do. Okay? Now, Wendy M says, I have been trying to quiet myself so I stay at a functional freeze. Yeah, functional freeze. It's like playing freeze tag. I feel frozen so I can't function. Cool thing is I can tag you. I'm like the person, I don't remember quite the rules of tag. We used to have free freeze tag and somebody was it. And you could tag somebody and they were frozen. But then you could untag somebody else and they were unfrozen. I don't know. Yeah. Kitty Boots, I'm so glad you stumbled upon me on TikTok. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I'm here on TikTok when I do the TikTok lives. Now, I do the TikTok lives at different times of the day. Pretty much every day of the week. If you want to find out the schedule, get on my mailing list. I do not hound you with emails. I freaking hate it when that happens to me, so I just don't do it to you. What I do is I give you a link to go to all these cool resources you get for free. One of them is my TikTok live schedule. And that is posted just so you guys know, so you can plan ahead when you want to tune in or not, when I'm live and not Memorex, from now until, I think it's December 31st, end of the month, which is coming up, people. Let me look it up here myself. See, again, I don't keep these things in my head. I write them down. Yeah, Tuesday, December 31st. From now until Tuesday, December 31st, all of my TikTok lives are scheduled. You want to find out the schedule? Go to destinationdecluttered.com, sign up for my mailing list. Also, here's a favor too. I just noticed something. I feel like I lost some followers, and I think it's just bots, because why would anybody not want to follow me? But you know what? Feel free to unfollow me. It's not jail. But I am very close to hitting like 35,000 followers here on TikTok. I just think it would be kind of cool to be able to say, instead of, well, I have almost 35,000, to be like, yeah, I got 35,000 followers. Now that's a hefty amount of people. That's like a town's worth of people. If you haven't followed my page and you want it and you think you like what you hear, drop me a follow, as that funny Irish weight loss coach says. And then the other funny Irish guy says, follow me, I'm delicious. Am I not? The person who cracks up at the funny Irish guys, even if they look totally goofy, my people. But I digress. Okay, so Reza Lee says, I organized and gave away just one book to my neighbor. She needed it. I found myself missing it already. All right, ask if you can borrow it back. Go to the library. All right? Yes. Okay, I love it. Carla Jane, I'm picking up one thing at a time. So Carla is learning to drive at a slightly slower pace, a less dangerous pace. Okay? A less dangerous pace. And if you think about it, Carla, if you really slow it down, the whole process, we all are only picking up one thing at a time. We can all only handle so much. It's in one hand and the other. Okay? Please drive safely. everybody. Drive forward in a way that's going to allow you to go through the entire journey and not crash and burn and get bruised ribs and black eyes. Okay? And sometimes we learn this the hard way. And as that band Ivy would say, and they never do that again. All right. Yes. Okay, so Wendy says, I think some people are leaving TikTok with the news of it possibly going away. Could be, Rabbit. What I want to offer is if TikTok goes away, you know who's gonna be hanging out together like this? Are the people on the mailing list. We'll just go to another platform. They close down this bar, we're gonna go to the other one because we want to hang out together. It doesn't matter the platform. I'm gonna be here for you, but I can only take you with me. I can only send you the invite to be like, hey, this bar's closing, we're going over here. If you're on the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join if you want to join. Judy, I love it. Yep, saw that last night. Put them on the calendars. There we go. Love it. I love it. Calm Carolyn. You would be so proud of me, she says. I sold 20 books to Half Price Books yesterday, made $6.20. Yeah, you guys, money is a fascinating. You talk about something that's really deep and interesting. Notice how money is interwoven with your decluttering. Yeah. Notice though, it's not about the money. Calm Carolyn, 20 books, $6.20. Not much money, but more shelf space. Yes. Get curious about where money is woven in there. Okay. No Farm Girl 11. Beth, in all capitals, what's your best tip on getting rid of so much Christmas stuff? I'm going to be doing this today, and I will do a TikTok recorded video on it because I think it'll be fun. It's the only reason I do a lot of things is because I think they're going to be fun. I highly recommend that to you as well. Make it fun. If it's fun, do it. If it isn't fun, make it fun. Here's what I offer with getting rid of so much Christmas stuff. Notice that already you're saying, I've got Christmas stuff, and then I've got, oh my God, I got so much of it. Cut it in half. Now, I'm not suggesting that you cut the tree down in half, or you separate Mr. and Mrs. Claus, or, 4 reindeer over here and 4 reindeer over here. What I'm going to experiment with this year, so try it. You like it, is, and it's not Mikey. He likes it. Sorry, this is my brain on caffeine and early morning Gen X, a little bit of ADHD sprinkled on top of flavor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to treat my collection of Christmas ornaments like the MFA, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. It's the one that rolls off my tongue. I am going to rotate my collections. The first thing I will do before that, so I'm going to separate. I have decided that this year I'm going to experiment with, and all of this is just a grand experiment. So I'm going to experiment with how is it going to feel to only put out half of my decor. Because one of the things that overwhelms me about Christmas is the sheer number of things that I have. Now, my sheer number is literally about half of what it used to be. But still, it may feel like a lot. When it starts to feel like a lot, I don't like that feeling of a lot. I like the feeling of just right. I'm kind of like Goldilocks in that way. So I'm going to go through my Christmas stuff today, and I'm going to decide, A is decluttering. Do I even like this anymore? If the answer is no, put it in a box to donate. You can change your mind. You are a different person than you were in late December back in 63. No, late December last year when you probably, or beginning of January, put away your Christmas decor. Your life is different. Your tastes are different. Your brain cells are different. You do not have to be the same person. You are not required by law to put up the same amount of Christmas stuff that you did last year. How's that for permission and freeing? You can do whatever the F you want. Nobody else is the boss of you except you. So I say, play with that. If you open it up and you're like, yay, look, there's that goofy thing that I bought at the Salvation Army. I freaking love that guy. Little sad Santa. Okay, yay, put it out. If you look and you're like, Oh, that's when I was trying to start that whole collection of Holt Howard stuff and it got too big, whatever. Maybe you either donate it or you keep it in the box and say, this stuff I'm going to put away next year, put out next year. Chop it in half, okay? Experiment with the quantity, okay? Experiment it, all right? Here, I'm going to back up here. Doop-a-doop-boop-boop-boo. Doop-a-doop-boop-boop-boo. Oh, cool. Calm Carolyn, you know the Irish guys I'm talking about. Okay, Razor Lee says, I haven't touched it in 10 years, so I gave it away. It's so weird I'm missing it. Get curious. What are you missing? Write that down. You don't have to show what you write down to anybody else, just so you know. But get curious about what the feelings are. What is the story you're telling yourself? Because when you tell yourself, here's a really kind of life coachy thing, but I'm going to hit you with it because it's important. When you look at decluttering as giving away something and then you don't have it, yeah. If I give this away and I get nothing, why would I give it away? The better approach, the one I like better, is what's in it for me? What do I get when I release this thing? Calm Carolyn, she only got $6.20. It wasn't about the money. It was about the space. You got a good feeling, ostensibly, by sharing that book with your neighbor. Don't do it out of lack. Don't say, when I give it away, I get nothing. The thing is, there's got to be something in it for you. And there is something in it for you. There's so much on the other side of releasing the stuff that's weighing you down. It's weighing you down, you feel lighter. You feel like you got too much, you have nice space. Everything you look at tells you a good story. So you do. I can't even, no, you know what, I'm not even going to say that. Here's, flip it and reverse it. I can't convince you that you're going to get something out of decluttering, but if you're coming from lack and you're afraid to get rid of stuff, don't take that away from me. How does that feel? But when you realize, here's the deal, people, clutter is too much. It's not like you're saying, I only have a bite of food and I'm taking it out of my mouth and giving it to you and now I'm starving. No. You're saying, I have a bunch of sandwiches, but instead of hoarding them, I'm going to eat the sandwich until I'm good, and then I can share my sandwiches with other people. Okay? So, I'm going to quickly go through some stuff. If anybody, I always like to just do kind of it reminds me of being at college radio back in the day, because it's about 7:45 where I am, East Coast time. Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, coming to you live from TikTok. I do this pretty much every day, except for when I don't. And if you want to find out when the schedule is, go to destinationdeclutter.com, sign up for the mailing list. All right? User 616440 says, every one of your TikTok lives is so calming. Isn't that a nice feeling? I like it. This is how I talk to myself. I endeavor to talk to myself as nicely as I talk to you guys. Now, trust me, you guys get the creme de la creme. I beat myself up like you guys, but only about 20% of the time versus 80% of the time I used to. And it's so different. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Calm Carolyn says, just download Lemonade. You can follow me right away. I don't even know what Lemonade, I do know what it is, but, and Kitty Boots, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay. And yes, Mikey does like everything. Yeah. Hey, I love it. Kara and I are kind of bonding. We've never met each other, but we're both in that mid-century loving, late 50s, early 60s person who, grew up in Massachusetts. She's still up in Mass. And also, she and I have another thing in common. We are both helping an aging parent. And I'm assuming your dad's still in Mass. My mom is. And Kara is saying, I'm helping my dad declutter and sell his darkroom printing equipment. End of an era. But he's pivoting at 84. It's never too late. Yeah, my mom, who I'm helping with, her clutter, it took her to about 80 until she allowed me to help her with her stuff. It is never too late to live a life you love. I probably have that written down here. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. Yeah, thank you, fancy guy whose name I can't remember. Okay. There we go. So Kitty Boots, I've got enough sandwiches over here to feed an army. So do it. Your sandwiches are going to get moldy unless you share them. Find people to share your stuff with. And if you don't know the people, this is a really important thing. Thrift stores are a wonderful thing. They are that third place, as that guy in the book that I have on my shelf talks about. You don't need, sometimes you know the people you want to give stuff to. Yes. Other times you don't. And how freaking awesome is it to feel like a fairy godmother? My God, that was my Boston accent. A Christmas angel, Clarence, whoever. You can change the life of somebody else that you will never meet, but you will have improved the life of somebody you don't even know. And this is when you donate your items to some place that they can go find them. Now, I know this for a stone cold fact because so much of the stuff in my house is only here delighting me because somebody said, I don't want this anymore, and they put it in a thrift store. They put it on a table outside their house and said they'd take it for free. They put it in an antique store. Occasionally I would buy stuff from eBay, but not much. I like the thrill of the hunt. My life has been improved by people I never know. I then realize that thrill of the hunt when I go find something, and I put good stuff in the bags that I donate so other people can get that zing, zing, zing of my heartstrings. Okay? So, what else do we got here? We got 15 minutes. Yeah, taking that journey with your dad. Take this journey with yourself. Yeah. That one persona, you have had a tough year. You know what? Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Merry Little Christmas. Still Merry Little Christmas. Right. And yes, sometimes that one persona. We did this. I'm pretty sure the year that my husband's, both his parents passed within months of each other. We really were not in the Christmas spirit. And notice what we're talking about Christmas. It's not just how it looks, but how it feels. And the holiday season, for a lot of us, brings up emotions. I'm getting choked up just thinking of it myself. You can hear it in my voice. You can see it on my face. Notice how I'm telling myself a story and I'm thinking of all the people who were here last Christmas that I know and love, but who are not here on the physical plane. It's going to happen. You know what I just did right there? I said some words. I felt a feeling and my body reacted. Yeah, you know what? That's my little you are human thing. I'm not AI generated. We are not AI generated. We are going to feel feelings. And sometimes we don't want to feel those feelings. Because feeling sad makes you feel sad. And when you start crying, you're afraid you're never going to stop. But the cool thing is you will stop. And notice what I did. You could see it. You could see the wave. I talked. I got all. And now it's dissipating. So if you're having a tough year, that's okay. Nobody says you have to do anything decor-wise, declutter-wise. Do what feels right to you. Next year will be different. Yeah. Now, you know what? The only thing constant in life is change. This Christmas season is different than the last one, and the last one, and the last one, and the last one. And the ones coming up are all going to be different. So embrace the change and pull through the things you want and say, okay, that's all right with the things you don't. And just because you don't want to do a lot this Christmas, that's okay. It's totally okay. All right? And I get that feeling. Trust me. I was thinking about it this morning. I know I'll have to store it later and that stops me from putting it out. I'm the same way. I'm the total that way with our vintage aluminum Christmas tree. My husband loves it. He loves to put up the tree and decorate it. So that's his jam. As I snuck past it to plug in our little three-tier chandelier with the C7 light bulbs in the window yesterday, I said to myself, if it was just me here, I would not do this tree. On the other hand, I'm pretty much like a one and done. I like it simple. So I have one of those ceramic trees with the little plastic lights that you plug in, and I made the one that I had. I was able to find an old-timey place that you could still do that slip casting, and I made it. That's going to be my tree if my... God forbid, I don't even want to be imagining a future without my husband. But I'm fine with that. He wants to do that. It's okay. So, notice this stuff. All right? Okay. So, let me just do this. Okay. Lemonade, TikTok. Laura Gibbon Voorhees is saying, y'all, discover the magic of putting stuff at the end of your driveway with a free sign. Oh, hells to the yeah. Hells to the yeah. That can be one of the easiest way to get rid of stuff. My husband and I, for the past, literally, I can think of neighbors that we had that don't live here anymore, pretty much ever since we moved into this house almost 20 years ago. I, very early on, made a free sign, a big one. I took like a political sign, I flipped it inside out, and I put bright tape on it that just says free on one side and free on the other. And anytime we have something that's big and bulky and we don't want to move it and it doesn't, we plop that sign out there, we put it on the corner, boom, it's done. It's free. You don't need to know who's going to get your stuff. All you need to know is you don't want it anymore. Okay? There we go. Yep, on YouTube. Very cool. Radical acceptance, especially at the holidays. I'm pretty radical. I'm rad. Yeah. Wendy M. Interesting. The emptiness after taking down the decorations makes me sad, so I don't decorate. Notice the word empty makes you feel a feeling. Notice that you could say, it feels so spacious. I feel less cluttered. I can breathe. I've got open space for possibility in this new year. It feels so fresh and inviting and clear. Or you can say, I feel empty. Emptiness. Notice the power of words, people. Words make you feel a feeling. When you feel a feeling, you do a thing. Unhelpful words, unhelpful feeling, hanging out, not doing nothing, hanging on to stuff. Better words, better feeling. You're going to take action. You're going to give stuff away. Your hand is open. It's supposed to hand closed. Hand is open. Here, you want some? I'm going to share. No, you can't have it. You can't have it. What is that, Magic Bus? Okay. Hey, oh goodness. Oceanana, be safe. On your way for the lymphedema massage. I'm glad. Be safe. I am so glad I do not live where the roads are icy, so please. Okay. Okay. Cat Mama is saying, I have my parents' tinsel tree with the color wheel. I want to put new porch, though delayed. May not be done by Christmas. That's okay. There's always next year. There's always next year. Okay? Boop, boop, boop. Here we go. Erin is saying, it feels delightful to put stuff at the end of the thing. You are being Santa Claus, okay? We're all being Santa Claus to people we don't even know. You know why? Because you may not feel like it. Notice the disconnect. I don't have time. Oh, I do have time, but it just feels like it. I don't have enough, but you look. You not only have enough, you have too much. You have too much. And I don't mean that in a way, but you feel like it. You know the feeling of too much. You've eaten too much. You've bought too much. I've got too many of these. When you begin to realize that too much doesn't feel good, you can change it and you can smallin it. That's what decluttering is. And you do it with strategy. You cut out the things you don't want and you're left with the things you do until you get to that right point. And while you're doing this, you are also teaching yourself new habits of how you take care of the stuff that you do keep. Where does it go? Remember yesterday I did a video about if I want it, where does it go? Okay, now you've established a home for that item. Then you practice, draw a neural pathway, pave that neural pathway. Here's my scissors, where do they go? Here's my spatulas, where do they go? I'm always talking about spatulas. Because my mother had 14 of them when we were cleaning out the Cape House. And oh my God, my sister sent and we're both like, 14 spatulas, oh my God. She probably has 7 now, but you know what? That's her. Even my husband, he's the one who does most of the cooking. We have like 5 spatulas. Again, if it were up to me, I know 2 spatulas immediately that I would donate because he's right-handed, I'm left-handed. Pay attention to what you have in your house. How does it make you feel? Does it work well? Does it tell you a good story? Does it look pretty? I am a total visual person. I saw my husband on stage. He was cute. I talked to him. Now, I have talked to people who I don't think are cute too. Do not get me wrong. But there's an energetic connection with people you have something in common with, right? But I digress. All right? So here we go. We get 6 minutes left. Oceanana, isn't that interesting? I'd rather be home decluttering. God, that sounds like a bumper sticker, huh? Yeah, okay. All right. So Linda Mosiger had URI for over 2 weeks. Feel like we haven't any energy to decorate. That's cool. That is cool. Please, people, look, I'm the Pope. I absolve you from feeling guilty about not putting up any decor. We started early. We started like the day after Thanksgiving when we put up the little candeliers, I think they're called, in the window. You know them. They're like the little 3 things, totally 70s, 60s, 50s. And we put up the little ceramic tree. I still have 5 totes of Christmas stuff that we've been slowly bringing up from the basement, and now they're stacked in the kitchen. I'm going to put some up today, but I'm going to do what feels good to me. And when it stops feeling good, I'm going to stop. Or maybe I'll start the next day, or maybe I'll say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to kind of push myself away from the table and say I'm happy with what I did. All right? I love it. So if you don't feel like you have the energy, first of all, that's okay. Second of all, notice why you don't have the energy and cut yourself some slack. And if you have the opportunity, now we can't change the past, but we can be informed by it. So why don't I have energy today? Oh, it's because I woke up at 2 a.m. and I scrolled on TikTok for 3 hours. I have totally done that, so I'm not calling anybody out except myself. Okay, so if I'm feeling tired today, I'll kind of know why. So maybe next time, maybe tonight, I'm going to practice. Notice, I'm going to practice something different. I'm going to practice not scrolling on TikTok for 3 hours in the middle of the night, so maybe I have more energy for tomorrow. Now, notice how a simple thought can change things. Judy says, yesterday you said, people at thrift stores can gift your items for Christmas. And so Judy is taking items there today. And okay, Linda Mosiger, you're in the 14 Spatula Club. Welcome to my world. You know, yes, Greg. Yeah, isn't he funny? Okay. What about the self-defense keychain set? I totally missed that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'd rather be home decluttering. Exactly. Okay, here's the funny thing. So Laura Given Voorhees, we're just spatula talk with Beth. I just counted. I have 15 spatulas, but I use them all. But I do throw them away when they're done. Yes, this is decluttering in a nutshell. I don't care how many of whatevers you have. Truly, the quantity does not matter to me. What decluttering does, what decluttering is an opportunity for you to stop, hammer time, and look at what you have of whatever category and say, do I have too much, not enough, or just right? You're playing Goldilocks. So notice what Laura said. She looked at her spatulas. That's a category of kitchen utensils. I looked at my spatulas. I put like item together, and I just noticed, I did not judge. I just noticed I had 15 of them. And then I got curious. Do I use these all? And the answer was yes, I use these all. Okay. Do I want to keep them all? She says yes. Okay. That's the decision making right there. When you've made a decision that resonates with you, that's all that matters. Then she does say, I do throw them away when they are done. I've done the same thing with my husband and our spatulas. I am the person who will go around and say, hey, we've got this many of things. It feels like a little bit much to me, but how about you? Now he's the spatula guy. So he's like, no, I use every one of those. And when he uses a spatula, he makes me food, so I kind of shut up because I want that fried egg that he makes so well. Check in with your own stuff. You are so abundant and you probably don't even realize it. You know? Okay. Magaby Omel, I'm sorry, I totally manangled your name, says, I get overwhelmed when I start decluttering and then I stopped. Then a year later I start. So 2 things. At the beginning, gee, Schnauzer, you doing all right? I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. Okay. Okay, let me just do this. I'll get you in like a minute, okay? I have some time this morning if you want to meet. Just saying. Getting overwhelmed. Notice the overwhelm will stop you. What's going to start you is not being overwhelmed. Learn how to unoverwhelm yourself, aka calming down your nervous system, making your body feel better, and then showing up when you're not overwhelmed. And also, please, if you're only doing it 1 year at a time, things are going to pile up. Okay? I love this. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to do this in just a sec. TikTok is telling me I got to do this thing. I love this. Rocket Girl says, thank you. With joy, I am now loading up stuff to the Goodwill, especially the old cashmere coat. You know? Yeah, I have too many and I don't know what to do with them. Give them away. Fiery Angel, give them away. User 6242, I can't get motivated. Find something that's going to motivate you. That's your destination. What's in it for me? Why am I going to do this? Why am I going to go on this journey of decluttering? There's better be something at the end of it for you. And if not, stop. Hammer time. And say, what do I want? What do I want out of this? I want a home that looks like this, feels like this, functions like this. Write that stuff down. See if that motivates you. Okay? You guys, I can't believe this has gone so fast. Boston Sports Girl, I will have a wicked pizza day. I hope you have a wicked pizza day yourself. Have a wicked good time, as we used to say at Newbury Comics, all right? My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered. If you haven't followed my TikTok page, could you just follow it? I want to just try to get to 35 before the end of the year. If you want to know my next time I do a TikTok live, destinationdecluttered.com is my website. Signed up for the mailing list. You get the link to the page that has the schedule and also the invites to the 2 decluttering parties we're doing this weekend, okay? All right? And somebody said, oh, by the way, love your voice. Oh, you mean my wacky, all high and whiny voice? Thank you very much. I got to practice taking compliments nicely. So thank you very much. You guys rock. I will see you the next time I'm doing TikTok Live. Take care of yourselves and take care of other people, all right?